Sherry? Where the hell are you? You're such a rude sister for not coming to your sister's wedding. Huh? Is that you, Mother? It's been 5 years. By my sister, you mean Holly, right? What do you mean Holly's wedding? I wasn't told anything about it. Don't lie to me. I know you were invited. If you don't come to the wedding ceremony right now, I'm cutting ties with you. Haven't you already cut ties with me? What? Either way, today's Dad's funeral, so... Huh? Did no one tell you about it? Your ex-husband you divorced 5 years ago, my father, passed away yesterday. We had a wake for him last night, and today is the funeral. The funeral's just about to begin. Oh, and I'm the host. It's no use lying to me like that. Huh? What would I gain from lying to you about this? Do you know how hard it is for me right now? I'm not going to ask you to understand, but I never thought you would say I was lying. Do you not want to come to Holly's wedding so much that you're showing me this performance of yours? You really are a terrible sister. Not only do you not have any manners, but you're also inhuman and have no heart. I pity your sister Holly for having a sister like you. It doesn't matter what you say. It won't change the fact that Dad's funeral is currently underway. Don't hurt my feelings any further than this. What's wrong with calling a liar inhuman and heartless? I forgot to tell you, but Holly is also at the funeral. Huh? It's been 5 years since I saw her, but she came with the other relatives and has been helping out. Even though she's not related to Dad by blood, I would have been happy if she just had come to the wedding. She really is a help. You're lying again. Honestly, you never change. Sorry, but I'm going to block you until the funeral ends, alright? Hold on. I'll unblock you tomorrow. Bye. Wait, Sherry! Hi, Holly. Thanks for helping out yesterday and the day before that. I would have been happy if you'd just come, but to think that you would help as well. Don't worry about it, Sherry. You were way more busy than I was. Thanks for letting me sit with your relatives. I was my mother's child from her previous marriage, and now that they're divorced, I would have no way to object if you called me a stranger. But Dad loved you as well. You know that? Yep, I never knew my real father. It was only for a short while, but I was really happy during that time since it felt like I had a real dad. I see. I want to come to the memorial ceremony as well. Can I come? Of course you can. Once we get his inheritance sorted out, we're going to be giving out some of his stuff as remembrance as well. So come to that too if you want. Thanks. Oh, on the other hand though, there's something unrelated I want to talk to you about. You told me yesterday when we had a conversation that you cut ties with your mother and are now living in the capital, right? Oh, yeah. I couldn't tell you about it in detail since we didn't have much time, though. You see, once I graduated college, I purposefully found a job in Tokyo. Mom opposed it furiously and basically just forcefully left the house. This all happened 3 years ago, and I haven't met her ever since. I still have her contact information because I'm afraid of what she'll do if I completely cut her out, but I keep the chat hidden. Is that so? Why are you asking about Mother? Oh, yeah. I also basically cut ties with your mother and now only have her contact information. But 2 days ago, she sent me this strange message. What kind of message? She was telling me to come since it was your wedding ceremony. Huh? I don't have a fiancé. I don't even have a boyfriend. There's only this one guy that I dated for half a year during college, and I've been single ever since. I see. That just makes the message Mom sent me even stranger. I want to see these messages. Send me screenshots, will you? Got it. Hold on. I have no idea what she's talking about. Sorry about my mother, Sherry. What? There's no reason for you to apologize. You did nothing wrong. I was thinking about asking you if you knew what you might be talking about, but you have no idea, right? Yep, I haven't got a clue. But don't you think that we should probably find out what she's trying to do? Judging by her tone, she must have gotten into some trouble. Holly, I just got a message from her. Hello, Sherry. I decided to believe you about yesterday's funeral. What? You're going to be having a memorial service soon, right? I'll come as well, so tell me when it's going to be once it's decided. You don't need to go out of your way and come. I can't just not go to my ex-husband's memorial service, can I? What's your deal? What you're saying right now is completely different to what you said yesterday. I had no idea what you were talking about by Holly's wedding. Yes, about the wedding. You see, I need some money. What? Yesterday's wedding wasn't actually Holly's wedding, but Holly's ex-boyfriend's wedding. My bad, I must have gotten confused. What? I had no idea that Holly and her ex-boyfriend had broken up. I mean, the two of them are currently in Tokyo, and I thought that must mean that they're still going out. That's when I found the Facebook page of her ex-boyfriend and saw a post saying that the wedding ceremony was today. And so you thought that he was marrying Holly? I mean, it's only natural. I thought that they were still together. That's when I sent a message to her ex-boyfriend via Facebook. Why haven't I received an invitation? I'm the bride's mother, I told him. He replied by saying, the bride's parents have already passed away. We only invited her sister, her last remaining family. Please stop trying to prank us. Oh, so that's when you started invading me with text messages. But I thought that he must have some sort of misunderstanding, which is why I thought that if I came with you, who was apparently invited, they would let me come to the wedding ceremony. But you didn't seem like you wanted to come, so I had no choice but to go to the wedding on my own. Huh? I sneaked into the wedding and saw the bride walking around. I was furious and I approached her shouting, "Why didn't you invite your own mother?" Which is when I realized that it wasn't Holly at all, but a woman that I had never seen. She was so surprised she fell back, stepping on her wedding dress as she did. Don't tell me. The bride tripped and broke her hip. You heavily injured a bride you've never met before? I mean, I thought it was Holly. And so the wedding ceremony was canceled? Yes. What in the world are you doing? But... So, when you told me that you needed money, was it because they told you to pay for the damages you caused by injuring the bride and delaying the wedding ceremony? Yes, that's it! I keep telling them that it's not my fault since it was just a simple misunderstanding, but they won't listen to what I say. They told me that they would send me an invoice at a later date, and now I'm in trouble. That's when I remembered what you said about your dad dying. Huh? I was his wife for a period, which means that I have the right to receive some of his property. He owned a business, so he must have had his own money, right? So you're planning on paying for the money they're asking from you with this inheritance? That's it. People usually talk about the inheritance at the memorial service, right? You don't need to come. Why? I have a right to some of his property, I believe, so tell me the date when it's decided. You're no longer an inheritor of his property since you got divorced. Look it up on your phone. Search property inheritance plus divorced wife. I think you'll get your answer immediately. No way. So does this mean that you're going to inherit everything? That's so unfair. You could at least give me enough to pay off the money I owe Holly's ex-boyfriend. Shut up. You're making me lose my patience. Huh? I wonder who's the inhuman and heartless one. Dad just passed away 2 days ago. Don't make me talk about this. But I need the money. Shut up. I'm blocking you. Sherry, wait! Just give me a few $1,000s, that will be enough! Don't ever contact me again. Hi, Holly. You're reading my texts through your notifications or something, right? I've sent you so many texts ever since you went to Tokyo, but all my messages remain unread, so you're making me anxious, you know? You see, I'm in quite some trouble. It really is an emergency. I'm sorry, but could you please lend me some money? I suddenly need a large amount of money, you see. Either that or convince Sherry to give me the right to some of her dad's inheritance. Can you believe that she intends to take it all for herself? She's so selfish. Her dad was the owner of a business, so she must be receiving a fortune. And still she refuses to give me just enough money to pay off what your ex-boyfriend and his groom are asking from me. Can you believe it? Just give me a reply, I'm begging you. Holly, please! I barely make enough money as it is and have no savings since all I can do is work a part-time job. Hi, Sherry. I also got a call from Mom begging me to give her money. Just as I had guessed. I still have her chat hidden, so I only read everything once she'd finished texting, though. But I went over the chat history again, and it looks like she was sending texts now and then, even before the marriage. Regarding the marriage, though, she sent me a flood of texts berating me for not inviting her to the wedding. I see. So she wasn't lying then. I hadn't ruled out the possibility. I might have done something terrible to the bride Mom injured. If only I had told Mom about her misunderstanding. That's a different problem. Besides, your mother's accusations aren't your responsibility. Your ex-boyfriend and his fiancé actually told you that they don't want you to apologize and told you not to worry about it, right? Well, yeah. My ex-boyfriend knows about my family's situation, so he must have taken pity on me. Then it's probably best not to interfere any further. If you do something, your mom might interpret it as you siding with her. Who knows what kind of dangerous thing she'll do then? She might even hurt someone again. Oh, I guess you're right. I didn't think about that. It's probably best if we leave Mom on her own. Not that I want to help her, though. Your ex-boyfriend might have thought about it as well, and maybe that's why he doesn't want you to interfere any further. I see. I get it now. I'll just stand by and watch if they don't ask me to do anything, I guess. Yep, I think that's the best course of action. Well then, you're probably going to be busy for the foreseeable future, so take care not to push yourself too hard and get sick or something. Yep, take care of yourself as well, Holly. Yep, see you later. See you later. It seems that following those events, my ex-mother was asked to pay a sizable amount of money to the bride and the groom of the wedding she ruined. I don't know the exact amount, but for sure it was several tens of thousands of dollars. This was a devastating blow to my ex-mother, since she'd been supporting herself only by working part-time jobs. Not only that, but it was decided that there was a high possibility of her trying to make a run for it, so she was sent to work in a 24-hour workplace by the bride, who was apparently the daughter of a CEO. It seems that she escaped once and fled to the house me and Dad used to live in, but I wasn't home at the time, so the neighbors called the police on her. After that, she was sent to a department that had a stricter surveillance and even harder work than before. I kind of pity her, but decided to just forget since she was such a bothersome person.
Hey, what gives? Would you mind explaining why you didn't do the dishes this morning? You've done nothing but slack off today. You didn't even clean the bathtub. Or the toilets. They're covered in dust and smell awful. Ugh, you are so useless. I don't even know why we keep you around here.
Oh, hello there, Emily. I wasn't expecting to get a message from you this time of day. I suppose this means you've already gotten home from work then?
Stop dodging the issue. Why haven't you done any of your chores? Don't even think about telling me you forgot about them.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
Do I really have to explain it to you again? I go to work. You do not. That means you need to be doing all the housework since you're not pulling any weight in the house. Now get off your lazy rear end and start scrubbing right now.
Emily, I just moved in with you two yesterday. Is this really anything to be getting so angry at me about?
Excuse me?
And besides, I am working. I may not be as busy as I used to be, but I am still working, so I'm out of the house for at least the morning most days.
Who do you think you are? Don't talk back to me like that.
Emily, we made the rules very clear before we built this duplex together, don't you remember? We agreed that each of us would do our own chores, me in my unit and you two in yours. And our finances are separate as well. When we built the house, we had separate meters for gas, water, and electricity installed, so we can each pay for just what we use on our own. Of course, we're family and will most assuredly be there for each other in difficult times, and anytime you need me to look after Roy for you, I'd be glad to babysit him. Those were the rules that we decided on after a long and open discussion between the three of us, right?
Whatever, I'm tired of this conversation.
Sure.
Hey Mom, sorry to bother you on your lunch break. Do you have a minute?
Sure, Isaac, what can I do for you?
Did you have anything on your schedule for next weekend?
Next weekend? Let me think. No, I don't believe I have anything going on then. Why's that?
Okay, then what would you say to all of us going on a short little vacation as a family?
A vacation sounds lovely. What's the occasion?
Actually, one of my coworkers won a vacation in some kind of drawing, and he was planning on taking his family on an overnight resort stay. But I guess one of his kids got sick and is going to be in the hospital for a few weeks now, so they can't go anymore.
Oh, that's terribly unfortunate. I hope the child is all right.
The trip voucher had to be used within a specific time period, and it's too late now to change the reservation date, so he offered to pass the tickets to me if I was interested. Since the tickets were for 4 people, it works out perfectly that you, me, Emily, and Roy can all go together. The one little snag is that I have work on Saturday morning that I can't get out of, so you guys will be going there with just the 3 of you, and I'll be meeting up with you later on that day.
So, me, Emily, and Roy will all go in the morning then?
Yeah, that's the way it will work out. What do you think? I thought it would be a great opportunity for you and Emily to improve your relationship. You said the 2 of you were having difficulties, right? Since Roy will be there, and you know how much he loves you, it could be a great bonding experience for you two.
You know, I think you may be right. Sure, Isaac, I'd love to go along. Thank you for the invitation.
Alright, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll let you know the specifics once everything is set in stone. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Isaac. I'll be waiting.
Hey, Mom, sorry for the late notice, but I have something important to tell you about the vacation tomorrow.
I see. What is it, Emily?
I forgot to tell you that our departure time got changed.
Ah, all right. Oh, thank you for letting me know.
We were planning to leave the house at 7 a.m. and drive to the airport in order to make the 8 a.m. flight. But the flight we were booked on got canceled, and they rescheduled us for a flight at 10:15 a.m. instead. So we're going to be leaving the house at around 9 a.m. that morning. One more thing, though. I need to stop by Roy's friend's house to pick up a toy he left behind the last time he had a play date there. So could you meet us at the airport at 9:30 a.m.?
All right, that sounds fine.
I'll give you your tickets to the airport tomorrow.
Thanks, Emily. See you in the morning. Hello? Emily, where are you? I just got to the airport and I'm waiting at the gate like you said. But I can't find you or Roy anywhere. Did something come up? Are you running late?
Well, good morning, Mother Dearest. Actually, Roy and I already left on the 8 a.m. flight. We just landed a few minutes ago.
What? What's going on? Last night you told me that the 8 a.m. flight was canceled and we were going to go on the 10:15 flight instead.
You really don't get it, do you? I told you the wrong time on purpose. Did you really think I was going to let you come with us on this vacation? Get real. This is a family vacation, and you're not my family. You're my mother-in-law, not my real mother. Now be a good old maid and give me some money to use on your grandson and crawl back home to your rocking chair.
I don't believe this. How could you do this to me?
It was easy. Anyway, I know you've got my bank account number, so just wire the money there. Got it? Don't worry, I'll spend most of it on Roy. He's got a birthday coming up, and it's not like you need the money for anything, so go ahead and wire me a couple $1,000s. That should be enough for now.
I was looking forward to this vacation. I wanted to spend time getting closer to you. I know we've had a difficult relationship up until now, but I thought this would be our chance to come to understand each other better. I thought we were all going to make some wonderful memories together as a family.
You must have missed it before, so I'll say it again. You're not my family. You're my mother-in-law, not my real mom. This is a family vacation, so only family can come. And I thought you were aware of this, but since you seem so oblivious, I might as well tell you that the only reason I agreed to the duplex was because you got that massive life insurance policy when your husband died. I figured you'd be tossing money at Roy left and right. So, to summarize, I see you as nothing but an ATM for your grandson. You're not invited to this trip. Go back home. The end.
So that's how you see me. At first I was going to move in with Isaac's younger brother and his wife, but they ended up having to move because he got transferred at work. I was so happy at first when Isaac offered to build a duplex together with me. I'd be able to live closer to my grandchild and I'd feel more secure than living by myself.
Okay, so how about you go live with Isaac's brother then? Actually, that would be perfect. Do you want me to call a mover for you? We can have all your stuff out of the house by the time we get back from our vacation.
In any case, I suppose I have no choice but to go back home now.
Just so you don't get any ideas, even if you book another flight and show up at our hotel room, I'm kicking you out on the curb. Got it?
Hey, Mom. I'm almost at the hotel. Sorry I'm coming so late. How are things with you, Emily and Roy?
Isaac.
Did you guys enjoy your afternoon at the music park?
Isaac, I'm not at the hotel. I'm at home.
Wait, what? Why? Didn't you get on the plane with Emily and Roy in the morning? Did something happen? Are you okay?
Emily told me that the flight was canceled and that we were getting on a flight at 10 instead. When I messaged her later, she told me that she had lied because she didn't want me to come.
She did what?
She also told me to wire her some money to use on Roy during the trip, but I'm sorry, I haven't been able to get around to it yet. I stopped at a convenience store on the way back to pick up some food for lunch, and, well, here I am.
I don't believe this. What on earth is she thinking?
From the way you're talking, it at least sounds like you weren't in on it, in any case.
Of course I wasn't. I'm gonna have a little talk with Emily about this. Give me some time and I'll take care of it.
All right, but whatever you do, be sure that you don't get in any sort of argument in front of Roy, okay?
I know. I'll wait until it's nap time. I'll message you later on tonight.
Hey, are you there? I can't find Isaac or Roy anywhere. Do you have any idea where they might be?
Emily? Are you still at the hotel? Isaac just got back to the house with Roy about an hour ago.
They did? So, wait a minute. I'm all alone out here now? They abandoned me?
Well, like I said, they just got home, and I haven't heard any specific details, but yes, it does appear so.
Is this your doing? What did you say to Isaac?
Nothing, really. I just told him that you gave me the wrong time for the plane on purpose in order to keep me from coming with you on the trip is all.
That's not nothing. Why couldn't you have just told him that you got sick and couldn't go or something? You're making it sound like I'm the bad guy.
Emily, dear, I'd say an objective reading of the situation would lead to the conclusion that, yes, in fact, you are the bad guy.
What did you just say?
Did you think that Isaac would let you get away with a thing like this? That he would just take your side unquestioningly?
Well, duh, he's my husband. Plus, I didn't even do anything wrong. You're the one that's in the wrong. We were gonna have a fun, carefree vacation, just the three of us, but you butted in and invited yourself along. And now, thanks to you, I'm all alone in this hotel room.
Emily, you're under the completely wrong impression. Isaac is the one who invited me along on the vacation. I didn't invite myself.
Are you serious?
If you or Isaac had told me beforehand that you wanted to have a vacation with just the three of you, I would have understood. I'm not so presumptuous as to invite myself along to other people's vacations.
But Isaac never told me that.
Isaac thought, and I agreed, that this would be the perfect chance for us to get to know each other better, to finally have a positive relationship with each other. But now I've made my decision. I'm leaving my estate to Isaac's younger brother.
Wait a minute. Estate?
I do suppose it's a bit early to be talking about my estate, but you deserve to know my intentions. I'm actually the chairman of the board of 4 different companies.
4? I thought you were unemployed.
They were originally my father's companies, and when he passed away, he left his majority stake in each of them to me. It's been a while since I've seen the numbers, but I believe my stock holdings alone amount to around 5 million?
5 million? So that's going to get split up between the 2 brothers, right?
Isaac's younger brother and his wife are going through a training program designed by me in order to equip them to effectively run the companies in the future. Obviously, as the firstborn, I talked to Isaac about this first, but he said he had other interests, and I gave him my blessing to pursue them. His words were, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to forge my own path in life. You can leave everything to him."
He said that? Is he insane? What kind of psychopath would turn down a $5 million inheritance? What's wrong with him?
There is nothing wrong with him. He's a fine, upstanding man who takes good care of you, Roy, and me. Perhaps you might recognize that if you would think about someone other than yourself for a change.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I wish things could have turned out differently than they did, Emily.
Mom, you have to do something. I don't want to get divorced.
What's that?
Do something about this. Talk to your son. He says that he's going to divorce me and then he's going to work with his lawyer to make sure that I lose custody of Roy. He's going to move into your side of the duplex. You have to talk him out of this.
Ah, so that's what was going on. I was curious why I came home from work today to find my guest room full of boxes of Isaac's things all around the bed.
Well, now you know why, so hurry up and do something about it.
From what Isaac has told me over the last several days, not only have you not shown any semblance of remorse for what you did, but you've been trying your hardest to encourage Isaac to quit his job and take back my inheritance from his brother, including a presentation on a house that you could buy with the $5 million?
What was I supposed to do? There was no way he could have been in his right mind turning down $5 million. I figured if I showed him the kind of lifestyle that much money could afford, he'd change his mind.
Emily, I have to say I'm disappointed, but painfully unsurprised. First of all, the decision of my estate is as of yet undecided. Nothing is set in stone yet.
Didn't you say you were going to give it to Isaac's brother, though?
I've consulted with various financial advisors over the past several years, and presently I'm intending to divide my estate evenly between my 2 sons. However, how that division ultimately pans out is something for them to discuss between themselves.
Oh, then why didn't you just say that in the first place? That would have saved me a ton of grief.
Oh, do you suddenly have a problem with critical information being kept from you? That's exactly what you did to me when you lied about the plane being canceled. I wanted to see how you'd respond if I only told you the size of my estate and Isaac's intentions.
So, this was all a test?
Yes, and you failed miserably.
Oh no.
You can ask Isaac for more details.
But that has nothing to do with our divorce. I don't want to get divorced. You need to do something. Talk to Isaac. Tell him that a divorce would be bad for Roy. Whatever you need to do.
After this past week's events, I'm not entirely sure having a mother like you in the picture would be a good thing for Roy at all, Emily.
Please.
I've said my piece, and I have nothing to say to you ever again. I hope you one day learn to care about someone other than yourself.
Mom, no!
Goodbye, Emily.
Hey, Isaac, I changed my mind. Sure, let's get divorced.
Wow. Okay, so that's that, I guess. Go ahead and sign the divorce papers I sent you and take them to the courthouse whenever you can.
Sure thing. I'll head over there right now. Okay, it's all done. I just got back from the courthouse, so we're officially divorced. Wire me my share of the assets as soon as you can. I'm pretty sure you still have my bank account information.
What are you talking about?
Don't pretend like you don't know. I can do math. Since your mom's estate is $5 million and you get half, that means you get $2.5 million. That means that since we're divorced, I get half of that. So you owe me $1.25 million. I'm planning on using that to pay the bills while I look for a new job, so send it to me as soon as possible. Got it?
Why did I have to marry someone as stupid as you? My mom's not dead yet, you moron.
So?
Do you even know how inheritance works, Emily? As long as she's alive, it's all still hers, and she's perfectly healthy. How do you not know this?
Wait, really?
And besides, assets gained through inheritance aren't subject to property division during a divorce. God, you're an idiot.
Oh no. Okay, then I changed my mind. We're not getting divorced after all.
Don't you think it's a little too late for that? You just said that you had already turned in the divorce papers at the courthouse.
Uh-oh. Man, this sucks. What am I gonna do now?
Emily and Isaac's divorce was finalized just a few days after our final conversation. After considering Emily's behavior and its potential impact on Roy, the family court sided with Isaac and granted him full custody. It went far more smoothly than I expected, for us at least. Isaac realized in that last message to Emily that she was under an enormous misconception about how the property division would work, which is too bad for her, but thanks to that misconception, she consented to the divorce far quicker than I thought she would. After the divorce, Emily tried to move back in with her parents, but they threw her out. She's now living in a tiny apartment and working the night shift at a local dive bar. Her parents came by our house a few days later to apologize for her behavior. According to them, Emily had worked up quite a bill at the local host club as she was planning on being able to use my estate to pay it off. So it seems like she's going to be working off that debt for some time. I do hope that she learns her lesson and turns her life around, though.
Hi, Ava. Aren't you going to come home yet? It's almost time for dinner. I'm sure your daughter Dora wants to have dinner with her mother as well. Huh? Are you trying to make me come home by bringing up Dora? That's called bullying your son's wife. You need to respect me more because I'm being kind enough to let you live with us. I don't really need you to live with me, though. I guess so, because you don't have any illnesses and are still of the age where you can still work just fine. If you understand, then would you please stop making me take care of Dora for you all the time? What? It's always me, her grandmother, who sends her off and picks her up from kindergarten. She spends most of her time at home with me as well. Of course she does, because I'm asking you to take care of her. That's not what I'm trying to say. Her father usually comes home by 5 in the evening, but you always come home after Dora's already gone to bed. Don't you think that not spending time with your 5-year-old daughter could be a bad thing for your relationship with her in the future? Not only that, but I don't know where you go off to from morning till dusk, but it seems that you're spending a ton of money. What? You have no right to call me out on that. Speaking of which, I'm actually very busy. I can't come home yet, so make sure Dora takes a bath, eats dinner, and goes right to bed, all right? Huh? Hold on. Just what time do you intend on coming home? Tell me that at least. I don't know. Ava! I'll end the conversation here then. Jesus, will you please stop messing around? Hi, Mrs. Tate. Are you home yet? You have it so easy going on a trip 3 days with your second son's family. The main purpose of the trip was to do an interview for work, and I only brought my second son's family because they also had something to do with work. An interview? That doesn't make sense. So, are you home yet? Yes, we just reached the front door. Go to your room immediately. Huh? All my stuff is gone, and in its place is this supposed to be a child's room? That room is going to be Dora's room from now on, so leave the house, will you? What? Me? You're telling me to leave the house? Yes, I am. Do I have to repeat myself? Where did you put all my stuff? I threw it all away. You threw it away? Even my computer and printer? Of course. Those are just your toys, right? It doesn't make sense for me not to throw them away. I use those for work. What have you done? What are you talking about? You don't even have a job, right? Huh? You see, Mrs. Tate, have you noticed that it's been 3 years since we started living with you? I don't know the exact amount of days, but I remember around 3 years ago today my son Desmond suddenly brought you and Dora to my house and said, "Please let us live with you." Huh? What do you mean, let us live with you? Don't you mean that we offered to live with you? What? The company Desmond worked at suddenly went bankrupt, and he could no longer support the family, so you three would live with me until he found another job. Was the situation right? Huh? Ew! You're so delusional. The only reason Desmond changed jobs was because he found a better paying one. It also just happens to be that his new office was near your house, so we were kind enough to move in with you. But even after that, you show us this huge attitude all the time, even though you're just a parasite that depends on Desmond to get by. It really touches on my nerves, you know? Don't you realize I'm giving you a job to do by making you take care of Dora as a way to repay what we're doing for you? That's why I finally decided to exercise my authority as the oldest son's wife and take your room away from you. This is to show you how lucky you were that Desmond offered for us to move in with you. The parasite's garbage needed to be cleaned up, you know. And finally, leave. What are you going to do about Dora? Is there someone else that's going to take care of her? I'm going to invite my mother to live with us from now on. So, there aren't any problems regarding that. Actually, she's already here. By the way, the guest room is now my mother's room. Is that so? I'll say it one more time. Parasitic trash like you needs to be cleaned up and thrown away. Please just hurry up and leave. I understand. I'll clean up, all right? Oh, look at her now. You're going to clean yourself up, the garbage, by yourself? I mean, go ahead. There's one last thing I want to tell you, though. You've barely spoken to Desmond these past 3 years, right? So what if I haven't? I heard that whenever Desmond tries to find time for the two of you to talk, you always brush it off and ignore him. You should realize that by kicking me out, you've made your position a very dangerous one. Huh? Well then, I'll be seeing you at a later date. Mrs. Tate! Is it seriously true that this house used to be your parents' house and you've been the owner since you inherited it 10 years ago? And that when you were on the computer, you weren't playing games, but actually working as a freelance worker? And that Desmond has been trying and failing to get a job these past 3 years, which is why you've been paying for our living expenses all this time? Yes, it's true. You've got something wrong with Desmond, though. It's not that he hasn't been working at all these past 3 years. He found a job at a temp agency and worked as a temporary employee for a while, but the pay was so low that he couldn't possibly support his family with it, which is when he noticed that he has no skills that would make him attractive in the job market. That's when he decided to get a national license and quit his job at the temp agency, and he started studying while working part-time. Thankfully, he was able to pass the exam. He was able to find a new job immediately thanks to his new qualifications, but to his dismay, that company also went bankrupt 3 months later. Just yesterday, though, he was finally able to have some good luck. A friend of his who started his own business contacted him saying he was looking for someone with the exact same qualifications Desmond had, and so he hired Desmond. A few days earlier, Desmond told me that he was finally able to get a job that paid well. I gave a sigh of relief at that, but now for some reason, I've been kicked out of my own home by his wife.
No way. This is the first I'm hearing this.
I told you yesterday, but Desmond would always try and find time to talk to you, but you would always just ignore him, saying that it was a hassle. I do think that me and Desmond are partly to blame for what happened, though, since we always just let you get away with it. By the way, how's Dora?
She keeps asking me where her grandmother is. Even though my mother is also her grandmother, Dora won't listen to a word she says. She just barely listens to what her father Desmond says.
I told you that not spending any time with Dora, who's only 5 years old, might negatively affect your relationship with her in the future, right? It seems that that's what's happened.
But then what are you saying I should do? I have no idea what to do with Dora. Mrs. Tate, what is this invoice you sent me? I don't have $100,000. I'm just a housewife.
But that's the money you owe me for breaking the tools I need for work. It's the computer and the printer you called my toys. $100,000 is probably cheaper than what it's actually worth. Luckily, the data I was currently working on was backed up. But since my computer was thrown away, I'm no longer able to meet my deadlines. Desmond offered to pay for it, but I refused his offer.
Why?
If someone bails you out of this situation, this wouldn't have taught you a lesson. By the way, both your mother and your father, who's currently abroad on a business trip, agreed to making you pay for the damages. I always wondered what you were doing while you were off somewhere, making me take care of Dora for you. Apparently, you were always at your parents' house in the neighboring town and just laid around looking at shopping catalogs. I thought I would tell you because of your excuse of me bullying you is not going to work with your parents anymore.
No way. I was divorced. Desmond let me off without making me pay an alimony, but he says I have to pay him child support every month from now on. I regret what I did, so why don't we just forget all about this? I oppose us divorcing.
But didn't you sign the divorce papers yourself?
I only did so because Desmond pressured me to. Please convince Desmond to get back together with me. Have a bit of sympathy for me.
Well, I do understand why you people don't want to get divorced. You probably would have divorced Desmond without a second thought, though, if he was unemployed like he used to be. But now he's found a new job for sure this time, and he's going to be earning as much as he used to 3 years ago.
I know that.
Thinking of divorcing a woman who sees my son only as an ATM is the right choice. Which is why I have no intention of helping you.
But, fine. If it's come to this, then I'm not going to leave this house no matter what you do. I'll consider leaving if you let me get back together with Desmond and forget about the $100,000, though.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I've already sold that house.
You sold it?
I mean, it's already 70 years old. It doesn't look like it, but it's already falling apart in some places. I was debating whether to reform it or to sell it, but I decided selling it would be a better decision for me.
No way! My mom's telling me not to come home.
I'll give you until the end of this month, so hurry up and prepare to leave, all right?
I have nowhere else to go. Why is no one helping me?
I decided not to help Ava in any way except for giving her time until the end of the month to move out. It seems that she interpreted what I told her in a different way, though, since it didn't look like she had packed her stuff even when it was the night before she was supposed to leave. Desmond, who had finally had enough, forcefully threw her out of the house after noon that next day, since she refused to leave. Of course, I couldn't let Dora see her parents like this, so I handed her over to my second son's house, where I'm also temporarily staying. Desmond was able to get custody of Dora, so it seems that I'm going to be helping him take care of her at my new house we're moving into next week. As for Ava, who is now on her own, apparently she was able to find a job that came with housing. She got into trouble with the other employees on the first day, though, and since she can't just quit, she now spends every day being treated coldly by her fellow employees, always working on the verge of tears.
Hi, Adriana.
I heard you were going to get married. Huh? Oh, long time no see, Evelyn. When's the wedding going to be? We're planning on having it next spring. From who did you hear I was getting married?
My mom was talking to your mom on the phone today. That's when I heard.
Oh, is that so? I guess my mom did say that she was still in contact with your mom even after we moved into the neighboring city.
I heard that you were going to marry the CEO of a large company.
Oh, yeah? Of course you're going to invite me to the wedding, right?
I wish you would understand how much I want to celebrate the wedding of an old friend. You'll invite me, right?
Well, if you insist that much, okay, I'll invite you. Should I send the invitation to your parents' house?
Yep, that's fine. Still, though, it seems like everyone around me is getting married recently.
There are other people getting married as well?
Yes. Just this day before I heard about your wedding, I got a text from a friend from university that she was going to get married. She says her husband is a soon-to-be CEO of a company. I'm so jealous of you two. Both of you have struck fortunes.
It's not like I'm marrying him for the money or anything, though.
But still, it makes me so jealous.
Oh, sorry. Can we end the conversation here? I'm currently on the way to the convenience store.
All right. Well then, I'll be waiting for that invitation to your wedding. Hi, Adriana. I got the invitation to your wedding.
Oh, okay. Reply as to whether you'll come or not by the date written on the invitation.
All right. But still, I'm getting so many wedding invitations, it's a mess.
Oh, you said that everyone around you was getting married, right?
Yep. In fact, there's another wedding ceremony I need to go to the day after yours.
Oh, really? That means you're going to have to go to wedding ceremonies back to back. Will you be able to manage it?
Both are in the capital, so it's fine. More importantly, though, I keep looking at the specs of everyone's husbands. Who's marrying into a fortune and who's marrying a regular office worker. You know, I remember it for everyone.
That's an interesting way of remembering things.
Do you think so?
Well, just reply to the invitation, all right?
Got it. Hi, Adriana. Are you getting along with your fiancé?
What? Yeah, there aren't really any problems between us.
Oh, is that so?
What is it?
There wasn't any hidden meaning. I was just jealous that you're marrying a rich man.
Can I be honest with you?
Huh?
It's true that I'm going to be marrying the CEO of a large company, but it's not like I married him for the money.
There you go again, LOL.
There was no way for me to know that the person I've been going out with since I was 15 would start his own company in the future, right?
You were going out with him since you were 15? That's the 3rd year of middle school, right? He's not someone from the same grade, right? Because I didn't know him.
He's the same age, but he went to a different school than us. I met him at the cram school I was going to prepare for high school entrance examinations. We took the exams for the same school and we both passed, and we've been going out ever since the first day of high school.
So that's how you two met. But at the end of the day, you're still marrying a rich man, right?
I run the company alongside him.
What?
Okay, we're finished talking about this topic. There's something else I need to take care of, so bye.
Hi, Adriana. Where do you think I am right now? Are you already sleeping or something? All right, I'll tell you the answer. I'm currently in a hotel with your fiancé. I was only your friend back in middle school because you would do whatever I told you to do, and that meant using you to my advantage was really easy. Put simply, you were my personal servant, and yet you suddenly got engaged to a rich man, and he's handsome as well. That's why I stole him from you. Well, that's all I wanted to tell you. Oh, and I'm not coming to the wedding ceremony tomorrow. I mean, I stole your fiancé, so it's going to be canceled anyways, I suppose. Bye then.
What is the meaning of this? What do you mean you stole my fiancé? This isn't funny, Evelyn. Besides, I was with my fiancé when you sent me these texts, so I know that they're not true. I myself am a witness that can prove that he didn't cheat on me, but still, I don't know what your intentions are, but it seems you don't want to celebrate my wedding. I understand you're not coming to my wedding anymore. Bye then.
Adriana! Hey, what's the meaning of this? Only my seat isn't at the wedding reception. Explain this to me now.
Huh? Evelyn?
I apologize for being late to the wedding and not being able to make it to the ceremony at the chapel and not telling you about it, but there was some emergency that I had to take care of during the morning, and I was only able to make it to the wedding now. And yet, when I tried to enter, my seat was gone. This is so cruel. I thought we were old friends that could talk about anything with each other.
Didn't you say that you weren't coming?
What?
Didn't you tell me last night that you wouldn't come? Why are you even here?
Hold on. When I said I wouldn't be coming to the wedding, I meant tomorrow's wedding.
Didn't you send me a bunch of texts last night about how you stole my fiancé and how you wouldn't come to the wedding?
What?
I'm busy with preparations for the wedding reception. Bye.
Adriana, there's a misunderstanding. Those texts were meant for a different person. I accidentally bombed you with texts instead of them. Those weren't meant for you. I told you before that there was another wedding ceremony that I would be going to the day after yours, right? The groom I stole was the groom of that wedding, not yours. I said I wouldn't come to that wedding. I still want to come to yours. You see, the bride and groom of tomorrow's wedding are acquaintances from university. She was always so rude to me, even though she was so poor. And she's trying to just sneakily marry a rich man, which is why I thought I needed to teach her a lesson and... I'm happy about your marriage from the bottom of my heart, Adriana. These people have nothing to do with you. I have nothing against you, so let me come to the wedding reception. Adriana, please, reply to my texts. Adriana, help me.
What do you want?
You see, I'm being asked to pay alimony. Not only that, but the bride is making me pay for the cancellation fees of the wedding and also the cancellation fees for the honeymoon.
Her name is Beth, right? The bride whose groom you stole and was forced to cancel the marriage ceremony and their honeymoon they had planned. She also canceled the marriage ultimately, right? You've always had a habit of insulting people like that from time to time. I always noticed it, but it was usually tolerable, so... But to think that you would become the kind of woman who would steal someone else's fiancé.
Did I tell you that her name was Beth?
I heard about it from your mom. It seems that when the bride was reproaching you for stealing her groom, you brought up the fact that you sent me messages that were actually meant for her, right? She said that she wanted me to send her screenshots of the texts you sent me, since it could be used as proof of what you and her groom had done. She also told me the details of what had happened.
You sent her the screenshots?
I mean, can you blame me? You bothered us with what you did as well.
What? What did I do to you guys? Rather, you're the ones who made me really sad by getting rid of my seat at the reception.
But weren't you trying to come to my wedding after you just ruined the marriage of one of your friends?
But that has nothing to do with you.
It seems Beth had already noticed that you two were cheating beforehand. Apparently, she was waiting with her relatives outside the hotel you two were at that night. The groom was immediately caught, but you took advantage of everyone's attention being focused elsewhere to make a run for it, which is why you arrived at my wedding late, which you had intended to come to immediately before getting caught. That's what happened on the day of my wedding, right?
You know that much?
Not only that, but I heard you were planning on getting lost in the crowd at my wedding reception and use that time to plan out how you were going to make an escape.
You know even that?
Those messages you sent me by accident? Now that I think about it, I was lucky to have received those messages. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have let you come to my wedding without knowing about anything you'd done.
The incident involving Beth and your wedding are completely unrelated. I was planning on attending your wedding ceremony and celebrating just like everyone else.
I don't want someone who steals another person's fiancé celebrating my marriage. You disgust me from the bottom of my heart.
But, Adriana, I'm all alone. Everyone's left me. I was also unlucky enough for one of my colleagues at work to be an acquaintance of Beth, which means that everyone at our company found out that I stole Beth's fiancé. I couldn't stand how everyone looked at me, so I quit, which means that I have no choice but to rely on you for help from now on.
Will you really not understand unless I tell you in clearer terms?
What?
I don't want to be friends with someone so inhuman that they would steal someone else's fiancé.
But we've known each other forever.
Don't think that just because we were old friends doesn't mean that we're unconditionally friends forever. Don't contact me ever again. Bye.
Adriana?
I heard this from Evelyn's mom at a later date. First of all, the groom that had cheated on his bride with Evelyn lost his position as the next CEO after this incident. His parents cut ties with him, and after paying what he needed to pay, quit the ceremony as well. He broke up with Evelyn as well and left his hometown as if he intended on starting completely anew. Evelyn, on the other hand, apparently not only did she think that there wouldn't be an alimony since the couple weren't married yet, but she also never even thought about having to pay for the wedding ceremony and the honeymoon's cancellation fees. I heard that when she saw that she had to pay tens of thousands of dollars, she fell to her knees and started shuddering in fear. Her parents didn't help her in any way, and in fact cut ties with her after the incident. Evelyn, all alone, now works mainly at a brothel, and is forced to take on shifts every day to support herself.
Hi, Brendan. Are you on the train right now?
Oh, hi, Alinda. Yep, I'm on the train right now. I'll probably be there on time. I'm looking forward to today.
Yep, me too.
Still, though, I'm pretty nervous. I've met your mother a few times before when I visited your house, but it's my first time meeting your dad.
I've told him multiple times before to meet you, but he always makes up some sort of excuse and disappears whenever you come visit.
So, does he think of me as some random guy that stole his daughter?
Even if that's the case right now, I'm sure he's going to have a better opinion of you once he gets to meet you.
I hope so.
Anyways, this time I told him that you'd be coming to receive their blessing for our marriage. I don't think he'll escape this time.
I'll do my best to receive your parents' blessing.
I'll tell him about how much of a good person you are as well.
Thanks. I wouldn't know what to do without you.
All right, take care then.
Yep, you take care as well. To think that you were a piece of scum that grew up without a father. What? Could this be Alinda's father? I got your contact information from Alinda's smartphone. Is that so? First off, let's get this straight. I'm not going to be your father-in-law. I'm not going to let you and my daughter even get married. All right, then I'll call you Mr. Reed for now. Mr. Reed, why did you do what you did back there? Because you're a piece of scum that was raised in a single-parent family. I'm sorry, but that's not an answer to my question. Why did you throw that ashtray at me? You didn't just throw it at me. You were even waiting for me to enter the front door, poised to throw it. Luckily, it was only a light ashtray, and I was able to get away with only the swelling on my forehead, which you seem to aim for. Not liking someone is not an excuse to throw stuff at them. You see, that's what I'm talking about. All I did was teach you a little lesson and you start getting all mad. You're a piece of scum that was raised by a single parent. Your reaction proves that what I say is right. If I may, there are people who become single parents against their own will, even placed in such an environment. There are tons of people who have been raised on a straight path and are regular members of society. Don't you think that calling someone a piece of scum just because they were raised by a single parent is a bit prejudiced? You seem to want to say that you're a good example of someone that was raised on a straight path. It's not like I'm overconfident, but ever since I lost my father to an illness when I was 5, my mother raised me all on her own and even paid for me until university. I respect my mother from the bottom of my heart for that, both as a parent and as a human. There it is, your mother complex. Huh? I can already see my daughter being bullied by your mother, and you not doing anything if she were to marry you. Don't you think your interpretation is a bit one-sided? If the child is a piece of scum, then the mother must surely also be a piece of scum. What? I'm not going to let you marry my daughter. Mr. Reed, is that why you're provoking me on purpose? Do you want me to get mad at your heartless insults and insult you in return, so that I might accidentally say something that will make me and Elinda break up? Well, sorry to say this, but the things you said about single parents and their children at least don't apply to me and my mother. So there's no way I'm going to lose my temper and say something compromising. Huh? I'll end our conversation here for today, but me wanting to marry Elinda still hasn't changed, so I hope we can come to an understanding in the future.
Brendan! Sorry it took me so long to contact you.
Hi, Linda.
You see, my dad took my smartphone from me, and I was only able to get it back now. Mom got it back for me without him knowing. Is the place where the ashtray hit you all right?
Yep, it only got a bit red, and it's basically nothing now.
I'm glad. I'm sorry for my father. I never thought he would do such a thing.
Did you hear why he's opposing our marriage?
Yep, I heard. He explained it to us in grand eloquence. Me and Mom didn't know what to say after his speech.
Is that so?
I'm so sorry. I didn't expect him to be this opposed to us getting married. Even if he were opposed to the wedding, why would he just throw an ashtray at you without even listening to what you had to say?
Elinda, let's calm down a bit. If we lose our tempers here, then we'll just be doing what he wants us to do.
You're right. Oh, I forgot. Mom says there's something she wants to tell the two of us.
Oh, Mrs. Reed?
She said she's been thinking about it for a while, but has finally decided it after seeing my dad's attitude today.
I wonder what it is.
She told us to set up a meeting when Dad wouldn't be around.
Got it. Could you tell her that I'm free on weekday nights and on weekends?
Got it, hold on. I just asked Mom, and she said the sooner the better. So come tomorrow after work. Dad works a night shift, so he won't be here.
Understood. I'll contact you once I'm done with work tomorrow.
I'm so sorry about today.
Hey, don't apologize. It's not your fault. Well then, see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
So you didn't have enough and decided to come again. But I heard that you were going to work a night shift today. The production line was halted because one of our machines broke down. They told us repair would take the whole night, and so I got home early. Is that so? I'm going to marry Elinda to another man. Huh? Her husband is going to be the son of an executive director of the company I work at. Me and the executive director have been friends for a long time, and I promised to him that I would give his son my daughter to marry. The son of an executive director? How does it feel? He's a part of the upper class. You're nothing compared to him. You work at a factory owned by a food company at S City, right, Mr. Reed? I'm sure Linda will immediately give up marrying you if I tell her about this opportunity. Don't you dare bother my daughter's happiness, you single-parent raised piece of scum. Is that so? If that's the case, then I'm done. I see. It's a bit rude of me to say this, but I'll praise you for knowing when to quit. Don't get any ideas. I'm definitely going to marry Linda. I just mean that I don't need a father-in-law like you. What did you say? Sorry for bothering you. Linda, are you all right?
Brendan, my dad. I'm so sorry again. To think that he would have come home early.
Apparently something happened at his company, so we couldn't have known. More importantly though, are you all right? I was forcefully kicked out of the house, but I'm worried about you and your mom who were left with him.
I'm fine. Dad kept texting someone or talking to someone on the phone, so he didn't seem to have time for us. The two of us took this opportunity and fled by car. We're at my mom's brother's house right now. By the way, Mom left him the divorce papers, which she already signed.
So her plan is already underway, huh?
She said she was intending on this all along and had been preparing since last night. She wanted to tell you about it, but Dad suddenly came home.
Oh, is that so? Based on what she said up until I was kicked out, I guess the preparation was the obvious choice.
Dad's probably going to try and find out where we went.
No, obviously I'm not going to tell him, so don't worry. More importantly, it seems that your father has an arranged marriage set up for you.
Huh? You mean he wants me to marry someone else?
Yep. He says that your husband is going to be the son of an executive director of the company he works at.
The son of an executive director?
Could it be someone you know?
He was a classmate during middle school. Apparently he's extremely bright and is one of the candidates for the next CEO.
Oh, so that's why your dad wanted you to marry him so much.
But I heard during our middle school reunion recently that he was already engaged.
Huh?
It seems that people at the company don't know yet, though. Apparently, his fiancée is the daughter of the company's CEO.
What?
If we let Dad do as he likes, I feel like a lot of people that have nothing to do with this are going to be caught up in this mess.
You're right.
I have a bad feeling that this is going to be a hassle.
Hey, Linda, could you let me take care of the situation? I feel like we need to finish things right now.
Do you have a plan?
I think that getting my mother to intervene is the quickest way to take care of all of this.
What? Your mother?
To be honest, this is a card that I didn't really want to play, but it seems like I have no choice if I want to stop this before things get out of hand. I want you to wait a bit longer. Hey, Brendan, what's the meaning of this? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Your mother was the largest owner of our company's stocks? I intended to tell you about it when I came to your house to ask you for your blessing, but you never let me in. But instead threw an ashtray right as I stepped into the front door and shoved me out. I was wondering what to do about all of this when you told me about the arranged marriage you had for Linda with the son of an executive director. To be honest, I couldn't help but be bewildered at your sudden news concerning Brenda's arranged marriage. Me and the executive director were classmates during elementary school and middle school. Not only that, but Linda and his son were also classmates during middle school. This couldn't have been a better bond. But I heard that the son of this executive director is already engaged. Huh? Who's he engaged to? I got permission from the two of them, so I'll tell you. It seems that his fiancée is the daughter of your company's CEO. Even if there hasn't been any official announcement in the company yet, I think that treating the executive director's son as if he was engaged to Alinda without even asking him in his opinion is a bit problematic. This was around the time when me and Alinda got a bit worried that a bunch of people who were unrelated to our marriage might get caught up in the mess that you were about to cause, which is why I decided that I needed my mother, the company's largest stockholder, to intervene and have her tell the company about the situation. I had no idea this was happening. That's not the end of it. It seems that you were telling some of your colleagues that my daughter might get married to the son of an executive director. This eventually made its way to the ears of the CEO and of the executive director himself. Apparently, if my mother hadn't told them about the situation, this might have caused a huge commotion in the company. After all, the son of this executive director was already engaged, and to the CEO's daughter nonetheless. You're exaggerating, right? What are you talking about? Depending on how you look at it, one could say that what you did was disrupting the marriage of the next CEO and the daughter of the current CEO. So that's why I was told not to come to work anymore today. I don't know what the company is going to do with you, but it seems that you turned in the divorce papers your wife gave you to the city hall the day she gave them to you. Oh, well, that's... Alinda says that she's going to cut ties with you as well. Hold on, wait! Please make sure not to get the two of them, who are now strangers to you, involved in whatever happens to you. Hold on, wait! This is not what I was intending. The divorce papers as well. I let my anger get a hold of me, which is the only reason I turned them in. I wasn't actually serious. If my wife apologizes, I'm willing to get married with her again. That sounds like a long story, am I right? Well, yes. It's an important one after all. But I'm now just a stranger to you, and I don't need to listen to what you say. Huh? And frankly, talking to you any longer is just a waste of time. So, goodbye. Wait! A few days after this incident, it seems that Mr. Reed was told by his company to relocate somewhere far away. It seems that the people at the company have the silent understanding that that's where people go as a sort of exile. But Mr. Reed knew that he was being saved by the skin of his neck. And so, without a choice, he accepted. The next week, he set off for this remote island. Apparently, he now receives a much lower salary and is barely able to get by living on his own. Speaking of which, as he had never done any household chores in his life, he was having trouble living on his own. And so his diet was now heavily imbalanced. His room is full of garbage he's too lazy to take out, and his clothes are dirty since he didn't wash them. And his personality hasn't seemed to change a bit though, and he has no clue that the days until he's fired are numbered.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.